Hey baby loves. Today I want to talk to you guys about spiritual prison, because a lot of you guys are in spiritual prison, or quite frankly just waking up from a spiritual prison, and I want to enlighten you on what spiritual prison is and how you can get out of it if you are in it. If you're able to get out of it, because sometimes the sentence is a eternal sentence, so it just depends on the degree of what type of spiritual prison you're in. But let's just talk for just a generalized spiritual prison. Is when you don't have freedom of your soul, like your soul feels confined. You can't think for yourself, you can't move, you can't make certain decisions that normally you would make, and now you feel stuck, you feel constrained, you feel confined, you feel like you can't do what you really want to do. And spiritual prison is that confinement, but spiritually. So your spiritual gifts, you won't have access to them. You won't have access to free thought. You won't have access to just freedom altogether as of your soul. Like every time you'll try to do something or make a move, something will happen to bring you back into that cage. Now, a lot of times, or most of the time, I see spiritual prison is caused by crimes against humanity. And that is when you're doing evil things towards people, children, who are undeserving, and nobody is deserving. So it's just basic crime against humanity. Even let's say a person leaves you and you're hurt, they broke up your marriage, or the universe was telling you from the beginning not to be with said person. So now when the universe is breaking that union apart in the worst way, you know, a lot of times you want to retaliate, you want to do certain things, and those certain things may get you into trouble. You may do some magic to keep a person, may do some magic to hex a person or curse a person, and then, you know, there you have it. Not to say you cannot protect your union. You can definitely put a protection on your union. So I don't want people to think that. But when you're doing harm to others and trying to harm them and their children or whoever is around them, crime against humanity. Let's take magic out of it. Let's say you develop a product that harms the world in some form or fashion, or your past life has done this before as well. Then you won't have descendants. They will like stop the bloodline altogether. That's a very harsh spiritual prison. That's when you're doing to others, when you're harming the world in masses, and when you're harming other people, intentionally or unintentionally. And that's the truth. Now, when you're harming yourself, that's the hardest spiritual prison, because that's when you're making conscious decisions to put yourself in harm's way. You know a person or thing is just not in your best interest. It doesn't like you. It's not healthy for you. And the universe is showing you that. And you're in some type of self-inflicted spiritual prison that keeps you from making the proper decisions to move forward and get yourself out of said situations, and not doing things to harm yourself, like sleeping with multiple people. You know, certain things that are self-inflicted is keeping certain people around you that shouldn't be around you, having people control you, having certain groups of people control you and tell you how to think and how not to think, having intercourse with a lot of people will put you in spiritual prison, especially because you're picking up all of those entities and demons that they have attached to them, and they're just compounding. All of that energy is just compounding. Drug use, holding on to trauma, not forgiving, not moving forward, not trusting the universe, not trusting yourself to make the right decisions can put you in spiritual prison. So I think a lot of times the biggest problem with a lot of people who are in spiritual prison is they don't trust themselves to make the right decisions that is for them. And it's because they love a certain person and they think that they love that person more than they love themselves. And they haven't really made that decision to truly love themselves right. And that's really how that works, you know. But the way you can get out of it is by loving on you, doing the right thing, changing your vibration, changing the way you think, changing the way you feel, changing the way you respond to life. That is how you get out of spiritual prison. Being a happy person and doing happy things and helping the world in a good way, giving back to the world in a good way. Until then, if you're going to allow someone or something to control you and lock you down, then that's self-inflicted spiritual prison. And then when you do crimes against humanity or crimes against other people, that's the universe giving you a spiritual prison. And again, you will have to become a better person. It may not be in this lifetime that they forgive you. They may forgive you in the next lifetime. Or the one after that, it depends. Or it may be eternity, depending on how bad whatever you did was. Thank you guys for joining me. Y'all already know if y'all have any questions, I'm here to help. And I'll see y'all in the next video. I invite you to join my mystery school, where I have created a safe place for you to learn magic and how to make your own metaphysical products. You get weekly life lessons where I teach love, money, banishing, and protection spells. You get a weekly tarot class. I do monthly prosperity spells for my top tier, and you get exclusive early access and commercial-free content. Join today at patreon.com/Insight by Tesh.